because he's had two versions, right? He had the reigning Western version down here, and then his dressage deal was more up here.
Okay.
So that's how he knows the difference. And I'll try to overshow you
Yeah.
the video so you can see it. Is that when I'm going to the right, my inside leg's got to be at the girth, my outside leg is got to be back, and I'm just asking him to step up here. The amount of leg I use doesn't mean go faster. The amount of leg I use means to drive up more from behind. So I can slow him down and make it an easy walk.
With your seat? Are you doing it with your seat?
Seat.
Yeah. Okay.
But my legs are still doing the same. So
right.
I can use more leg. Now see how I get a bigger walk? More leg.
Yeah.
And then I can slow my seat down, relax my leg a little bit, shorten up the walk, and then we just take it to the same deal. Relax your leg, let him stop. I don't want to pull my hands out like this because that just teaches him to lean on me. What I want to do is lift my hand up. So you have to think about that line, being here. This hand doesn't go over here, and this hand doesn't go over here, because as soon as it goes there, you see where his nose goes?
Mm-hmm.
It goes the wrong way. So if I lift my hand up like this, see how he's already starting to put his head where I want it? So I'm not going to cross that line, but the beauty ends up being is that even if he wants to pull on me, he can't get above the bit. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
If you've got your hands here and he throws his head up, now he can get above the bit and you have no strength down here, right? Everybody wants to teach their horses to drop their heads by seesawing it like this. Excuse me. It works, but it doesn't work when you go to show one-handed. Because if this is how you taught him to put his head down, when you do this, how do you seesaw his head down? You can't make that happen. But if you teach them like we do with these babies from the beginning, is I just put a bunch of slack in here, walk forward, lift my inside hand up, put my inside leg on, outside leg back, get the bend, I leave him alone. It's his job to stay looking in. As soon as he looks out, pick him up, leave him alone.
And you're using the inside leg?
No, my inside leg is on.
Right, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You got your inside leg on him.
So, because I want him to keep the arc from my inside leg. My inside positioning rein just says, hey, look in here.
You're at the girth too?
Huh?
You're at the girth?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And my outside leg is back.
Right.
So my outside leg being back is going to help hold the hip in there.
Right, and driving forward.
Between showing him what to do and then forcing him to do it. And if you're just walking around here, and even though I'm not doing anything bad, this is forcing him to stay bent, right? So why does he want to be here? Because there's no way to win. So pretty soon he's going to get pissy. But you got to make sure you do it with a lot of slack, because if I get more bend, see how I don't have the outside rein?
Mm-hmm.
He's got plenty of slack to get to where he needs to be. When I change directions, same thing. Put him over here. It's his job to find out where we want him to be. So you can't take it personal. I mean, I say be here, and if he looks out, I'm going to ask him with my leg first. I'm on my inside seat bone, my body's turned. If he looks out, I'm going to put a little more inside leg on to see if I can get this arc, right? Before I go to my hand. Because my seat is 90%, my legs are 8%, my rein is 2%, okay? So if I always go straight to rein, then he never learns to listen to what my feet and legs have to say. So if I go the other way, I just pick that rein up, and as soon as I get him looking, I leave him alone. Inside leg, just driving him at the girth, outside leg back, driving him forward, and then I release him. See, he looks out, just pick him up, put him down. Pick him up, put him down. Okay, so now you start building all that nice pretty arc stuff. And like I say, the step one, it goes back to where we end up when we start riding him in the bridle, is that when we push him up here and ask him to go forward, whenever his head comes up, I don't want to seesaw his face down, okay? Every time his head comes up, I squeeze with more leg. Because then your hand affects where his head goes. So if you've got crap, if you've got more contact, then you're going to have his head up. If you've got less contact, you're going to have his head down. So it ends up being that you were talking about if they get behind the vertical, right? If he gets behind the vertical, I just give him a little more rein and squeeze with a little more leg. So when we're walking this circle, when we're into the next advanced step of what we're doing, now I can keep the bend, because what I'm asking him to do, remember when we were asking him to look in on this circle, right? We lifted this hand, and when he gave, we released it. So we said, look in, thank you. Look in, thank you, okay? So when I start riding him into the contact, and I'm asking him to keep that bend, if you watch my inside rein compared to my outside rein, I'm saying, keep this bend, thank you. See that little loop that shows up there, right there? So I'm saying, look in, thank you. Look in, thank you. Look in, thank you. So this way, when you show, people don't know what the heck you're doing. Because it's the same thing he learned from when he was a baby, when we first started him. Look in, I'm going to leave him alone. So when I change directions, I swap my leg, I pick up my inside hand, same deal. Look in, thank you. Look in, thank you. So what we're trying to teach him is that inside leg to outside rein for our driving and our steering. So the more I squeeze with this, the more I push him out to that, right? So the more I push him to that outside rein, then I can put the head where it needs to be, and I don't have to jack with the inside rein at all, other than just to keep my positioning. And then when we want to stop, we just close our rein, stop our seat,